all of you all who are tuned in on this wonderful Tuesday. It is good to be back here in the land of the living. We do want to say welcome and greetings to all of you all who are listening. Some of you are in your vehicles, on your lunch breaks, at work. Those who are logged in by way of, internet listening, www.wclmradioonline.com. Again, that's www.wclmradioonline.com. You can just click listen live on your TuneIn app. Also, I want to welcome those who are listening by good old-fashioned radio. That's WCLM 1450 on your radio dial, your AM dial, that is. And so, with that being said, please get on the phone, call somebody to tell them, to tell everybody, to tell anybody that your favorite pastor is back on the air again. And I got some stuff I want to mention today. I'm not going to get deep into it, I don't think, but some things I want to mention. I'm going to reserve as much time as possible for our extended guest, Chris Dorsey, who will be with us again today. And today I'm going to back off just a tad bit to give him room to cover as much material as he can. For those who don't know, next week, for those who celebrate, I think it's going into the Thanksgiving ordeal. Needless to say, I'm not going to get far into that. I'll just say I have no intention on celebrating Thanksgiving as many of you all out there do. Not going to get into a long spiel about that. I do believe I ought to give thanks, but I don't need America or any other place to tell me when to give thanks. I believe that in everything I should give thanks. So with that being said, I want to give God all the praise and say thank you, Lord, for yet another opportunity. However, I don't celebrate Thanksgiving because I don't find it to be a celebration when I look at what Thanksgiving is all about, the slaughtering, the murders of many people, the abduction, the kidnapping, the usury, the rape, everything that you all put a turkey on the table for and say thank you. That is not the thing that I'm grateful for. So I want to say to each and every one of you, next week we will be pretty much shutting down most of our discourse of politics for just for a small amount of time, just for a little bit, and then we're going to be coming back after the holiday. And so today I want Chris to take a good portion of time to talk to us about where do we go from here, and to just let him cut in on anything that he has not yet dealt with. But before I do want to take this opportunity to say I was expecting a special guest today. I won't say a lot just in case he doesn't come today. Maybe I can see him tomorrow, I'm not sure. But we are expecting a special guest, a young man, and let me see, check my messages here. I just received another message. Okay, he'll be here too. Alright, so what we'll do is, we'll fly and take this information, then at 2 o'clock, if God's will, he'll come in, we'll do an interview with him. Young man out of high school, you don't want to miss this, putting on a production, and I believe it's this weekend. I'll let him tell you more about that, so keep the station locked, because you never know who's coming through. At any time, we've had all kind of guests, needless to say. Before I go any further and begin to discuss various topics, number one, I noticed that Chris Dorsey posted something in reference to planning and organizing the militia. And I saw it last night, and I looked at him and I said, you must be crazy. That's what I was thinking. You got to be crazy. If you think they were taking pictures then, you might as well put on your very best smile, because I'm sure that's going to cause some folks' ears to become wide open. We know when certain words, keywords, certain things, and I believe militia, even though they will distort it, he'll tell you later what it actually means, what it's all about. But he's looking to organize. He's looking to see where do we go from here, to give you all time to think about it. And we'll have Chris back again. I want to say that to each and every one of you from time to time. He's one of the few people that's willing to come on. I'll tell you this, Chris. A lot of people think you're crazy. A lot of people think you're nuts. A lot of people are afraid of your boldness. You know, it's one thing to be afraid, but it's another thing to be afraid of someone else's courage. And I think that a lot of people are afraid of your courage. I've been asked, and I keep it real with my listeners, I've been asked, do I think that you are a mental case? And I'll say this, even if he is, I'm careful not to call him that. I'm going to tell you why. I don't know him that way. I just don't know him that way. Here's what I will say. Thus far, he has spoken more truth. Okay? Listen to what I'm looking for. Truth. He has spoken more truth regarding politics than any other guest I've ever had thus far. So, whether he's crazy or not, that's to be determined. What I am going to be careful about is not to be so quick to call him that. That's me. Let me tell you why. Because I found out whenever you speak harsh reality, they have found a way to reverse the roles and make those who are conscious and aware look as though they're the deranged. Look as though they're the ones that are insane. And I fit right into that bill. There are lots of preachers on here that want their members to believe Pastor Rob is crazy. Pastor Rob is a nut. I'm a weirdo. And I tell people all the time, go and do your research on me. I'm not mad with anybody. My mother didn't whip me into oblivion. I'm not going off into some tangent because I've been hurt and abused. I'm not a drug addict. I'm not an alcoholic. I tell people all the time, don't believe the hype. If you ever hear, and I'm going to discuss this, and we'll get started in a minute, but if you ever hear about them finding marijuana on me, and I'm not saying marijuana is a problem, but it's still illegal here according to their statutes and codes and so on and so forth. I don't want to get Chris started with that. But let me just tell you this. If they ever find it and tell you they found it on a pot on my porch, who was that?
Shonda Muhammad.
Yeah, Shonda Muhammad. Applaud her today. But let me say this. If they ever tell you they found some smoke, that's what we call it. If they ever tell you they found some loud, some trees, and Chris were cannabis. If they ever tell you they found it under a pot on my porch, I promise you they set me up. Now, why am I telling you this? I'll tell you in just a minute. But the first thing I want to say is this. Number one, I've never smoked in my life, not even once. Not even took a pull of a cigarette. Never. I've never. Now, I mean, I'm not bringing judgment to anybody because I did a lot of other dirt. Okay, I ran the streets well. So I'm not playing like I'm clean by any stretch. And PTI ran with some of the people you know. So with that being said, you know, I don't play as though I'm innocent. That's just not my particular, it wasn't the vice. It wasn't the thing that hung me up. Whatever the case is. Why am I telling you this? Because last night, ladies and gentlemen, for those who are listening, I made it down to, what do they call that thing I went to last night?
School board meeting.
I know what it's called. I wanted to see if y'all had a better name for it. The school board meeting.
Cluster.
Let me make sure you can tap it if you don't mind. Hold on for a minute. Try that. There you go.
Test.
Hold on 1 minute.
The mic's on?
I got all of them up.
Let me get the engineer here.
Let me just say this. I made it last night down to the school board meeting. And I want to just, first of all, let me say this because I don't want to slip my mind. I want to thank all of those that came out. I had people who took time in the freezing cold last night to come out. They ranged in the ages of probably almost 80 years old on down to in their 20s. And I want to thank those people. They came on the strength of Pastor Rob. They came on the strength of me telling them I was going. They came to support not only me, yours truly, but Mamie Taylor. They came to support the anti-rezoning mission. And I want to thank all of you all, and I'll talk to you again tonight about it. I want to thank all of you all who came out and showed up last night. It looked well. It looked very good. I'm excited about that. But I want to just spend a few minutes, and I'll come back and talk about this later. But I want to spend at least a few minutes, a few minutes talking talking in reference to my experience at the school board meeting last night. I've never seen so many bickering people in my life. I'm going to say a few brief things because I can't hold myself. First of all, I did hear that we have received a call to the station this week. Yesterday, maybe? Was it yesterday, do you know? Yesterday, I believe. From a man by the name of Dr. Bennett. Does that name sound familiar to you? Is it Bennett? Is that what they said? Dr. Bennett? He's going to make sure.
Who called it?
Was it Dr. Bennett?
Yeah.
Okay, superintendent. The superintendent. Want to make sure I have everything right. And this is what I'm making sure this is the actual superintendent. Everything. Now,
Dr. Bennett.
I saw him and all that last night. But what I'm telling you is, when I got here today, one of the engineers told me that they received a call to the station, and he wanted to talk about a rebuttal. And I imagine that's a rebuttal to what happened on last Tuesday here with all of us, Mamie and Marty and everybody was down here, and Brother Greg, everybody was here. With that being said, once again, we know they're listening. I told you, they're listening again. Shout out to, let me say this, shout out to King California who helped to make sure everybody listened, because they've been passing around our videos like hot pizza. I'm telling you right now, it's getting around to people in high places, and that's what we want. And people, and the reason why I know it's so, because folks are pissed off. So I want y'all to know that, and I want to say, I want to make sure I have it right. With all due respect, I have never met the gentleman, don't know him at all. If I had seen him in the mall, if we were on the playground together, I wouldn't know who he was from any other black guy. But I will say this, with much respect, sir, I would like to give you a formal invitation. I would like to welcome you, invite you, and encourage you all at the same time to join us any day that we are on the air. I will accommodate you any way I can. I'll give you as much time you need to rebuttal and to answer the questions of the people. Why am I doing this? Because in times past, let me explain something to you. I have had various different people here. You've seen all kind of folks here. Everybody from Reba Trimble to Marty Jewell to Blackstreet, R&B, Fred Hammond have come on our show. We can go on and on with the different people who have come on, different genres, so on and so forth. And I want to say this. Even when we're dealing with folks who are running against and debating and so on, even to run for sheriff. Chris Dorsey came here and he met with Mr. Kizzy.
And then Irvin.
And Irvin as well. Sister Irvin, she met as well. Not on my show, but she was here in the station. But Kizzy and Dorsey both were here, and they had I thought it was an excellent discourse. I think that it was great. I'll be honest with you. People were able to call. They were able to say what they needed to say. It is videoed. It is record, public record. And we also invited Sheriff Woody. And I did the same thing. I don't endorse any of these people. I don't have to. I don't have to. It's nothing they need from me. I don't need them to endorse me. But I want to give everybody a chance to come on and let the people. See, once again, I want to put it back into the hands of the people. Let the people challenge, ask questions, and find out who's who when they're put in a place where they're going to have to put up a sheriff. That's not just for, ladies and gentlemen, the people who you think that we're not in favor of. I want to give an invitation. It is an invitation that is done in good spirits to, and I believe it is Dr. Bennett. I want to make sure I got that right. The superintendent here, City of Richmond, Public Schools. I want, please, can somebody spread the word to him? As a matter of fact, if somebody can give me his number, I'll call him live on the air today. We'll call him live right here on the air, so no one will mistaken because I don't want any Lorenzo Hall stuff going on there. I don't want nobody mistaken. I don't want any false report. Listen, I want that brother to know he's welcome on my show to say whatever he needs to say. And he will be questioned, and he will get an opportunity to give his spiel about what's going on with this racket. I saw foolery last night. I mean, I just saw, I saw just downright high school,
You saw theater.
just high school drama.
Theater.
A lot of these people I don't know, so with respect, I will also give anyone who I mention your name for any reason an opportunity to come on the show as well. All right, so that's my first thing I would like to get. First order of business I would like to offer to all of you all that this show is not. Now, Sister Mamie Taylor, she can come on anytime she wants. I'm just telling you that she can come on anytime she wants, and I will applaud her for coming. You can't make people come. And so when you look at people like Chris, oh, he's back. Somebody, well, he's here because he's not afraid to be here. And I mean, you know, and I was talking to somebody. He told me he's crazy. He just said about Chris, but he's not stupid. And see, you have to read between the lines. They know he knows his stuff.
You got the right information.
Oh man, listen to me. He's a walking. Call him the book. He's a walking almanac. One guy in the barbershop said, call him the book because you don't have to look. He already knows whatever you got to look up. But I mean, you can't take that away from him. You cannot take that away from him. I do want you to address some things that I heard regarding the Constitution today, if we can get some time. There's some people who believe that you're extreme in your approach to hold the Constitution dear. I'll come to that in a minute. But if you're out there radio, we got all this going on, and then we got a special guest coming in at 2. He'll get out of here. We'll finish up with Chris. Let him take the show away. Please, ladies and gentlemen, I want to also, let me say this. I want to thank Glenn and Chris for their time coming on for the filming, for the video. Absolute pleasure to work with. And I want to say that publicly to everybody who's listening. And, Lord. So, last night, I don't know if anybody was there that was that's listening today. The phone lines are open at 804-231-7685. We'll take 5 minutes tops. 5 minutes if there's anybody who happened to be at the school board meeting last night that would like to comment, that would like to share your views, what you saw. Is it just me? Is it just me, or did you see what looks to be like a high school like a high school bickering match? Out of the members I saw people who were not enthused. I saw people who did not have an energy towards the children. I saw people who were cliquish. I saw teams. I saw teams last night. I thought that the only team was supposed to be the children. I thought all of us were supposed to be hitting for the children. Well, I didn't see that last night. I saw somebody that was uptight with somebody else. And I want to know, is there anybody out there that saw this that can say, Pastor, you're not crazy. Did you witness this last night? Caller, you're on the air.
Yes, sir. I attended last night, and what I saw for myself seemed to be a debate between the Democrats and Republicans. One side seemed to be Republican or whatever. They were playing toe tag or something. I thought it was there to do business.
Right.
And to me, it looked like a fiasco.
Wow.
Like somebody stole somebody's toy. They didn't like the guys on the other side of the neighborhood or something.
Now, I haven't been down there since they've been dealing with this rezoning issue. I talked about it. I've had guests on the show to talk about it, but I personally have not been down there. That was my first experience, and that was what I saw at first sight. Have you been down there? Was that your first time since they've been dealing with this rezoning?
Yeah, that was my first time, and I'm telling you, I was highly disappointed of the politics that's played in the school board meeting. I can understand maybe city council, but you figure the school board, it would be a whole lot less politics.
Oh no, I school board is where it all begins. That's where the money is.
That's right.
Anytime you got the superintendent making more money than everybody else, then I figured out that's what's most important. We'll get to all of that. I had to learn that the hard way. When they told me all of that, I was in shock. I had no idea that things are ran the way they ran, but hey, I'll shut my big mouth before I get in trouble. Thank you so much, sir. Did you have anything else? I cut you off.
No, sir.
All right, thank you so much. So yeah, another first timer. Another first time. We're not going again. I will be there again on December the 1st, I think. I think it's December the 1st. I will be there again. And I didn't speak last night. I don't have to always open my big mouth. I just came and I wanted to see exactly what was going on so I could have a better view of what to say here. But let me say this, and to support. But let me say this. Anybody else out there in radio land, 804-231-7685. I want to say I was thoroughly impressed with those who spoke from the public last night. The majority of those that spoke from the public literally shocked me because they brought fire last night. I don't know all their names, but those who came on behalf of whatever organization, I think they give you longer for organization representation, and then they give you, Chris, you should know better than anybody.
I'll give you 5 minutes if you say you're representing a group of individuals, and 3 minutes for just personal speaking.
Well, there's some folks that got up last night, and I'm going to tell you, I'm starting to think those ought to be the people who should be running the show. And that's exactly what it should be, because they were bringing it last night. And I mean, they did not take any prisoners. So I want to say, if you're listening out there, I want to tell you that I am most proud of you all. I also would like to acknowledge, now, I want to get more into it as I have maybe some folks from the coalition on the show, so I'll try to contain it. But I'll say this. I've never seen, I would like to know, what did they do to the young lady? There's a young lady down there, God bless her heart. If you're listening, God bless you, God, baby. Kim Gray. She said no to everything they tried to pass last night. It was unbelievable. I've never seen anything like this. Another gentleman beside her, white guy.
Glenn stirred it, probably.
Listen. Unbelievable.
Anybody recording?
Oh,
I
man.
ain't watching on public access.
Man.
It'll be on there.
They also they spent most of the night fussing over who they gonna let take a trip. Most of the night was talking about trips.
How much you got in trouble for that, right?
No one got in trouble. What happened is clearly someone ran to the media. That's what I'm getting out of it.
Alright.
Because those trips are approved before they go. They have to bring them before the board before they actually go. So the board can't come back and they'll fuss about what they have already authorized to begin with. But what they can do is you can get one or two in the board who are in bed with these reporters and go and leak and say, hey, I want you to look at this. Okay? And I was extremely shocked. I'll save my bigger comments, but I was extremely shocked by the mayor's son last night. I don't know what happened.
Derek.
Now, let me just say this about him. Let me say this about him, because I haven't. Everybody knows how I feel about that. Okay? But for some reason last night, he stood up. And I was in shock. On numerous occasions. Now, you know me. My mind is all messed up. Because I don't believe for 2 minutes that you can trust any of this. But
Phony.
let me, that was Chris. But let me just say this. And you're probably right. Let me just say that. Here we go. I would tell everybody, don't miss, who care about what's going to happen with the city schools, don't miss December the 1st. Get down there, voice your opinion. Please get in touch with the Richmond Coalition if you can. They're trying. They stood up. Greg stood up last night and spoke very well concerning the children. He made some good points regarding the lawsuit that's still on the table and that's against us. RPS, the school board, so on and so forth. And he was speaking in terms of how do we have these people who are in the lawsuit still, I guess, delegating and doing so on and so forth. How can you have them still operating so freely when they're actually tied up into a lawsuit? So, I don't have much more to say. Y'all don't have much more to say about that. I'll wait till Greg comes in. But I did go last night. I have some other thoughts. I'll leave it at that. I believe that they tried to catch Sister Harris Muhammad. I believe they wanted to catch her off guard. They asked her to do a presentation. They wanted her to do a full presentation of her trip. And from what I understand, I don't think she was supposed to be ready for it. But she gave a heck of a presentation last night. So with that being said, I don't know who that worked towards or who that worked against. As always, Mamie, you stood up. Thank you so much, ma'am. Appreciate that. And if all hearts and minds are clear regarding that order of business, phone lines are open at 804-231-7685. Now somebody asked me in the background what did the mayor say.
What do you stand up and do?
Well, okay, I don't want to get too far into it because I want them to come on and say more.
All right.
But I will say this. He was surprisingly. But there's another gentleman that's on that school board. Okay? Chris, you may be familiar with this name a little bit better than I am. Bowen. This particular gentleman, from what I understand, they created a position for him. Literally. This is what I've been told. And then he's actually one of the mayor's boys. Mayor Dwight Jones. And he was there last night also voting against a lot of things regarding folks going on a field trip. But I will say this. I thought it was strange that the mayor's son and him didn't vote alike. And I'll just leave that and I'll tell you more about that one. So I'm wondering, what's that about? I'll tell y'all more about it. Just don't
counting.
Just don't say I didn't tell y'all something strange. It'll come back. But just don't say I didn't tell you. There's something strange about it. Anybody else out there, quickly, last call, 804-231-7685. That is the number. You can call me right here, live in the studio. Any comments? So yes, again, we do want to give a invitation. Can somebody send me the number to the superintendent? Give me the best number, because right after I make this call, we'll be here with Chris Dorsey. Can anyone out there in Radio Land give me the number that I can leave a message or talk to the superintendent? I can imagine I'm going to have to leave a message. So I want to make sure that this is done on record. Somebody call me up. I know y'all are typing because my folks always keep me up to speed. 804-231-7685 is the number here live in the studio. I need to call the superintendent and invite him over. Don't worry, we'll give everybody a second, because when I ask for numbers, they usually come pouring in. And I'll check their Facebook, or sometimes they post it on our page.
Got RPS number.
RPS number, no number specifically for the superintendent or his secretary or...
I just did a Google search for contact Richmond superintendent. So let's see.
Anybody else out there in Radio Land have a number for me? Hey, I know I'm supposed to have all this together, but I had no idea I was going to do this today because, well, this is real radio, and so... And I don't have a team that does my research before I come on the air. So I like it better this way. I like it raw and real. It is what it is.
Uh-huh.
If you're in the area, you can stop by today. Go 32nd and home. I'm sure Chris will give me a few minutes for that.
They know where it is. I'm pretty sure they know where you at.
All right. Let me double check. Anyone out there have a number?
Let's talk about the superintendent salary too, huh? It's a big salary, huh?
Oh, it's big. They get paid. I wouldn't want to be anything but the superintendent. I'm serious. I wouldn't want to be anything but the
They
superintendent.
get bonuses too and all that stuff.
Man, they take care of everything.
Yeah. Cause they came from
Everything.
They come from Texas?
I was gonna tell them I would supply us with refreshments, but I think anybody that makes that much money, he ought to pay for it. I got some people checking in on Facebook, but I haven't gotten a response yet. Let me just recognize those people who faithfully check in, log in rather, and check in with us. Oh, I got a number. Somebody would be all the way at the beach listening to us in Norfolk, and they gave me the number to our superintendent.
Yeah.
So here we go. Just a moment, and then I'll come back with Chris Dorsey. Y'all be quiet.
Calling the Richmond Times-Dispatch and the offices of the DH Media Group. If you know your party's extension, please dial it now.
I saw on a Google search a number come up that was looking similar to that, but I could tell it was our
Okay, that's not it. That's not it. Thank you. Anyway, that's the number to the Richmond Times.
I think maybe the RPS number might be the only one.
Want me to try it? Well, give me that number, Chris.
Hold on 1 second, let me get it back up again, because
And then we'll move forward. While they're doing that, let me say this so it won't be any dead air. You ever wonder why I was talking about if they ever found weed or anything?
Yeah.
I'm not getting ready to prepare for anything, but let me just tell y'all why I say that. Because I'm learning that even with little politics, in the big picture, I'm starting to find out that these puppets that they select, they pick people who they have just an ungodly amount of dirt on.
That's right.
And I'm going to tell you what I'm telling you. I'm starting to see that. I thought about what Chris shared last week regarding President Obama and him being sweet, being a little sweet there.
I think that's obvious.
But I began to do some research because I didn't just want to listen to what you said. Matter of fact, I even questioned you again last night when we were just talking off the record. But I began to do some research, for my own personal convictions. And it is coming back to exactly what Chris stated. Not that I say Chris was a liar, but in the business I'm in, I have to be able to show people things. And I'm telling you, I want to make sure it was true. I wouldn't want anybody to accuse me of such. And so I want to make sure that what I'm saying is actually based upon some facts. But it made me think, how many of our worldwide leaders are actually scumbags that have been shoveled off of the street and used as puppets by those who are the money holders, the money suppliers.
All of them.
Well, Chris says all of them. Oh, he says all of them. But let me say it. And I thought to myself, I thought about things that I now remember. Like, for instance, for those who will do a search on the Skull and Bones. And everybody knows that that's a very elite, some of you all use the term Illuminati, Brotherhood, however you want to word it, it is a very elite group, the Skull and Bones, okay? It consists of presidents, it consists of high-ups, congressmen, all of these people who are part of this private club, okay? Well, one of the things you have to do in Skull and Bones, for those who don't know, and go research, don't think I'm making this up. All these intelligent, high-up, sedity, uppity folks, can you imagine this?
That's real.
They have to strip down naked. They have to get naked and get inside a coffin. I never knew this, but I thought about. Now I want you to hear that. To be in to be in the Skull and Bones, you have to strip down naked, and in stripping down naked, y'all can come on in. Y'all here for the interview? All right, come on in. All right, we'll get to you in just a second. All right, you're on the air, so but it doesn't matter. Our guest is here a little bit early, but that's all right. Come on in, have a seat, make yourself comfortable. We're just ranting on about a few things.
Go ahead.
Our guest of the hour is here, by the way. Of course, we'll knock him out, and we'll take that next hour for you. All right, now, but I wanted to say this. For those who don't know it, you can do your research on the Skull and Bones. The Skull and Bones, they are required. So if you want to know your president, for instance, your president is required to take all his clothes off. Okay? Your leaders have to take all their clothes off naked. You got it? And get inside a coffin. And when they get in this coffin, they're surrounded by other elite individuals who they have to tell all of their sexual desires, fantasies, and dirt. And you're recorded. And I think that the reason why you're recorded is to remind you that from this point on they own you.
Okay.
And if you don't want them, because if you ever decide to go against the agenda of the people that put you in place, put you in office, then you'll be on the news the next morning. And they'll put all of your dirt and your business in the streets. So I said all that to say this. I thought it was mighty funny that down at the Richmond School Board, I thought it was very strange down at that Richmond School Board that the people that have been in the news, the people who have been persecuted by way of media, are all people who have made some attempt to buck the system to a certain degree. We can argue later about how far they go, because I don't believe hardly anybody goes all the way. I was sitting at the table last night with folks and I told them, no, I'm not trying to go all the way, not all the way. Everybody wants to bounce back and forth. Okay? And I know that. But I want to make this clear. I find it unbelievable the dirt that they have on these individuals. And I think that on a lower level, on a local level, it still goes on much like that. But what they'll do on a local level is they'll just put the dirt on you. And literally, they will set you up. They will paint a picture, they will come after your family, come after your home. They'll do whatever it is when you come against that agenda. All right, enough said. Ladies and gentlemen, I got to switch modes today. I have with me, can I get some, see what you got there? Oh, thank you so much. I have with me special guest today, and I'll let him, if you don't mind, touch that mic for me. Sir. Yes, sir. I have with me today a young man, and I want to make sure I have your name right. You get me straight if I get you wrong. Jordan Pearson.
Yes, sir. Yes.
All right, Jordan Pearson is with us today. We want to welcome a young man. Jordan, how old are you?
14 years old.
14 years old, Jordan Pearson. Now, I got to tell you this. You've got a lot of people talking about you. I'm serious. Like, I was at the table last night with politicians and all kind of folks, and they were talking about you.
Oh, really?
Big people, important people. We're talking about Jordan Pearson. And last week we were all here arguing and fussing and spitting and yelling and doing all that stuff that folks do. And what do you know? Jordan Pearson name came up again. So I want to say welcome, Mr. Pearson. Thank you for coming on our show.
Thank you.
You're 14 years old. You are a student.
Yes.
Where are you enrolled?
Meadowbrook Middle
I'm sorry, Meadowbrook
High school, all right.
Yes, sir.
Meadowbrook High School. Now, I'm going to allow you to come in here today. I'm a Springer, but I'm going to let you come in and sit in here and you just make yourself comfortable. We just beat y'all in the playoffs last Friday night, but that's neither here nor there. Why are they talking about you, Jordan Pearson? You got a good idea why folks are talking about you?
Well, I'm 14 years old, and I wrote my own play titled Choices, and we're doing it for a great cause.
Hold on. You're 14 years old.
Yes, sir.
I noticed something else about you, too. You're a young black man.
Right?
You may not see it. See, your generation, Jordan, don't see things the way even my generation. I'm not that old. But we see things different. Your generation don't see the big deal in having a black president in the White House.
Right? Right?
A lot of y'all, because you haven't seen what some of us have seen.
Right? No.
Does that make any sense?
Yes.
And I don't want to distort your innocence, but let me say this to you. I find it encouraging to have a 14-year-old black man, young black man, that's not here because you robbed the store. That's not here because we're getting ready to talk about you, trying to get you out of trouble. Not selling dope. Right?
Right.
You're here because you're writing plays.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You really write the play. You.
Yes, sir. Every day, when I was writing a play, every day I just wrote scene each day, and it just...
Start from the beginning and tell me how you started writing a play at 14. Because if you're only 14 now, I don't want to hear. Don't you come in here and talk about, well, I've been doing this for a long time. You haven't even been here for a long time.
No.
So tell me again, how did you begin writing plays, and what got you going with that?
Well, one day, me and my father, we were at the Henrico Theater, and we decided, my dad was like, wouldn't this be a good idea if we could do something here, and since, my dad does, and owns the Friends Helping Friends, charity, he said that wouldn't it be such a good idea if we could raise money and help for a needed cause, and wouldn't it be a good idea if we could do something here? So he was like, yeah. So he was like, how about you write a play? And I was like,
hey, hold on for a minute. Let's back up a little bit for our listeners. It's up to you if you don't have to. But let's give a shout out to your father.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Call his name out, because clearly part of who you are is due to both. Is that your mother over there?
Oh, yes. Yes,
both father and a mother. You didn't become who you are. I know you big shot now.
No.
But you didn't do that on your own. Don't ever forget those two people. I'm imagining those are the people who said, look, here's a great idea. But give your father a shout out, because he's not here today.
No.
But tell him, and then tell him the name of his organization.
Oh, his name is Michael Pearson.
Okay.
And his organization is Friends Helping Friends.
Friends Helping Friends.
Yes, sir.
Now, I heard a little bit about him. I'll get him to come another day.
Okay.
But I heard he's been helping children throughout the years, different programs, tournaments, all kinds of things, athletics, you name it, he's been doing it over the years. Now, we're here to talk about you, but I wanted to acknowledge that, we have another young black man that's here, and he has great black parents that have obviously begin to do a great work in your life. Back to what got you going. So, your dad's telling you, man, this would be a good idea. What's going through your head?
Well, first I was like, yeah, I guess so, And then I went home, and that whole night, I just stayed up all night, and I wrote a summary of the play. And he enjoyed it, and, I showed my mom, Angie Pearson, and she enjoyed it, so it was like, let's go.
Is that the play we're talking about here, Choices?
Yes, sir. Yes,
so,
sir.
your first time around, you wrote what we're looking at. I'm looking at right now in my hand a flyer of this production that all these folks are talking about called Choices. You did this first time around. You wrote it. Parents loved it. People are now talking about it. And you weren't afraid at all.
Well, no, not at all.
I believe you. Like, I'm looking at you, I believe you. I believe you. And let me ask you this. So the process of writing, did you do it in the night?
No.
Okay, it's been
Well, it took me about a month and a half. Because like I said, I wrote a page each day.
Okay.
It came to me. I just prayed every time I did it. And God gave me the vision, you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Did y'all hear what he said? He said he prayed. All right. We'll get to that in a minute. Let me say this. I'm looking at the title of this production. Jordan Pearson Presents Choices. Why choices? Why do you call this? Why this title? Choices. If you don't mind. How'd you come up with that?
Well, actually, the play is based on 1962. The play is in the era of 1962, and there was a lot of things going on. You know,
What year were you born?
2000.
Listen to this old song here. So now, hold on, back up. It's based around the 60s.
Yes, sir.
Continue.
Okay, so it's based around the 60s, and you know, segregation and racism and all types of things like that. And basically, it's about this boy. He loves basketball and he loves God. You know, so he loves them two things. And you know, actually, that incorporated my dad's basketball camp that he does. You know,
Okay.
So it's about this boy. He loves basketball. He's just going through a lot of things in life. You know, and you know, it's just about things that we face every single day, and you know, choices that we make.
Okay.
You know.
All right. So now, ladies and gentlemen, if you're tuned in, I want you all to listen. I'm here talking to a 14-year-old, young, black, intelligent, well-spoken.
Thank you.
Oh man, handsome young man. And he has written a play. You mentioned praying.
Sir.
I take it you believe in God.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
And you make absolutely no apologies about believing in God.
I attend Sixth Baptist Church.
Okay, all right. And you prayed about it, and you've arrived here. So now, for those who are listening, because I want to get you to come back, if you will. I want you to come back again and explain to me how this is going and find out where we're going next. Because clearly you have a gift.
Thank you. Thank you.
Clearly there's something there. There's a burden there. And some things come from people who have been trained. But when God has given you something, man can't train that. Okay? And what I want to do is I want to say to you, I want to thank you for coming here.
Thank you.
I want to thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening, I'm talking to the phenomenal playwright extraordinaire himself, young 14-year-old Jordan Pearson, who has written a play that will be placed out there for everyone to see. And I want to make sure I have this right. This Saturday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
November
22nd.
2014. And what time?
Doors open at 4 o'clock, but showtime is 5.
That's right. So get there if you want a seat, because y'all will pack the house for Jordan Pearson. Showtime is at 5 o'clock. Doors open at 4. And the location, Jordan. Tell them where they need to come.
Henrico Theater.
The Henrico Theater, which is 305 East 9 Mile Road. Ladies and gentlemen, make the right choice. Come and see Choices. What is the cost?
I'm sorry.
What is the cost?
Oh, it's $10 in advance, $15 at the door.
Okay, $10 in advance, $15 at the door. Now, here's what I like. From what I understand that, now, you're 14 years old. What are you going to do with all that money?
Well, I don't get it. No. It's to help raise money for Thanksgiving and it's for charity.
Okay, so you're going to feed some folks.
Yes, through the charity that I was talking about.
I want you to tell the people what they're going to be spending their money on, other than the greatness that they're going to experience through your ability and talent. They're also going to be not just making your pockets fat. No. And I want them to know. But they will be feeding folks that are hungry.
Yes, sir. Yes.
And so they get to come and have a great time. They get to come and watch you in your very early years. Because I got a feeling that this may not be your last play.
I hope not. But not.
And if you ever make it, I hope you'll remember me. Come back and get me and say, that man had me on his show before.
Oh, yeah.
And just, let little guys like us come around. But let me say this. Ladies and gentlemen, I got Jordan Pearson here. Saturday, November the 22nd, 2014 at 305 East 9 Mile Road, Henrico Theater. Doors open at 4, showtimes at 5. Come out and not only enjoy yourself, come out and help to support a great cause. Again, Jordan Pearson presents Choices. It says you will see an inspirational, life-changing production, and that your ticket proceeds will help feed families on Thanksgiving through the 501c3 nonprofit organization Friends Helping Friends. Now, I need to give this information, if it's okay, because I want people who are listening. And before you go today, your tickets are how much again?
$10 in advance.
All right, this is what I want to do. I want you to find somebody here who we can. This is what I want to do. I want to donate. In advance is $10. I want to donate 5 tickets.
Thank you so much.
I want to donate 5 tickets. Now I may have to go down to the debit card place here, but I want to donate 5 tickets, and I want to be the first to do that for you. Okay, that's from me and from the Word Church. Okay, I'm a pastor, and I want to do that from me and my church to let you know that we stand behind you, just in case I can't make it. Okay, I'm gonna try to come, but just in case I cannot, I want to support. Okay, and maybe you can give those 5 tickets to someone who would like to be there, but maybe not be in the position to be there.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to get you that. Okay, we're going to support. But I also want all those listening that will support this young man, that will support this cause. It says for tickets, call Angie. Is that right?
Yes.
Want to make sure I have that right? Oh, that's Mom.
That's
and I'm saving the best for last. You know, I'm not going to get down there. Mom, and you got to make her happy. Let me say that. I want to thank God today. Tell everybody her name. Is that okay?
Yes.
All right. Her
Angie
name.
Pearson.
Angie Pearson.
Best mom in the world.
You better best mom, great dad, great family. Call Angie at 804-382-0722. Again, for those listening, write it down. 804-382-0722 or Mike at 804-405-4472. Let me give you Mike's number again. 804-405-4472. If you have any problems and you can't remember any of that information, call up here. I'll make sure I put you in touch with some people. Shout out to Greg Day and some other folks who speak so highly and connected me with you.
Thank you.
And like I said, I'm going to donate myself. I'm going to buy 5 tickets.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And that's from the Word Church. Let me say this before you go. Is there anything that you didn't get to say that you want those who are listening to know about anything that has to do with you or this play or anything? The microphone is yours. There may be people who may not have anything to do Saturday. And I'm going to tell you, I'm asking them to open their ears wide to what it is you would have to say. Anything that you want to say before you go to the listeners.
Okay. Well, I just want to thank my second timers and Richard and my Uncle Bobby. And I just want to thank my musician, Marvin Taylor.
Okay.
Marvin Taylor. And I would like to just thank my whole cast,
Okay.
And like I said, my mom and dad. And I just want to thank you all for listening. And thank you for having me on the show today.
You're welcome.
And I hope y'all can come to see an inspirational, life-changing play.
All right. Now, hold on for a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, let's just give it up for Jordan Pearson.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Jordan Pearson, y'all. Now, this is what I want to tell you, Jordan. We're going to officially make you part of the Truth of the Matter family here. Whenever you want to come and you want to talk about what you're doing next, you and my we're going to become friends. I don't usually make friends. But you're going to become my friend if it's all right, and you can come back here, come on in and talk to us here at WCLM, because I support our people. I do, especially when they're young and they're doing what they're. I want to tell you this, whatever you do, man, put your hand in God's hand and don't let go.
Don't let go.
Yes, sir.
And don't let anybody rob you. Listen to me good. Don't let anybody take anything from you and who you are right from your heart. Don't trust anybody but those two people that God has given you. Friends gonna come, folks gonna come writing big checks because they gonna want a Jordan Pearson production. Don't go outside, stay right there. Stay with those people who had to drive you to where you had to go. Who had to feed you before you could feed yourself.
Oh, yes.
And I know Dad and Mom is there for you. So I want to tell you that we appreciate you, man, that God loves you, that He's invested great things in you, that you can do whatever it is He put in you. Don't allow anybody to move or sway you from what's in your heart to write about. Keep it real, keep it raw. Keep it joy.
Yes, sir.
Because nobody can be better at joy
Thank you.
than joy.
Yeah.
All right?
Thank you.
And what I want to say is don't allow people to pull you down. And for those out there, let's support him. Let's support him. You know why? Nobody has to be, young people listening, they may see you're going to be on YouTube and everything. So then you know you're going to be all over and you just spread it around. Don't be jealous of him, young people. Support him. Because the truth is, his gift, this is what people don't understand about being great joy. Okay? I'm a radio host. Some people like me. I don't like to listen to myself.
Yeah. Ditto.
What I'm getting ready to tell you is this. Walter, he's in radio. You don't like to listen to yourself on radio, right? But let me say this. When God gives you a gift, it isn't for you.
Yeah, it's for others.
It's for others.
That's right.
So when others become jealous and try to stop you, they don't know they're only hurting themselves.
Yep.
Because they're stopping the gift that God has put in you for them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what they ought to do is embrace what's in you. And if they embrace what's in you, then they can in return bless you with the gift God has given them
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
Because if you like me, I can't sing. You know, I don't know what you can do. You can do some things good, you can do some things not so good. But all in all, we're proud of you today. Jordan Pearson, is that all that you have today? Anything else, sir? Saturday, November 22nd, at the Henrico Theater, 305 East 9 Mile Road. Jordan Pearson presents Choices. Go out there, meet him, call Angie at 804-382-0722 or Mike at 804-405-4472. Thank you so much today, sir. Yes, what?
Hey, Rob. We are one. I'm gonna give them the same invitation on my show also.
All right.
Just give it.
So you got another man now. So Walter, will you keep that?
Okay.
You don't fly away.
All right.
And will you let the people know on your show?
I will.
Okay. So we're gonna work together and do that for you.
You gotta stay encouraged.
That's right. And that's a good guy right there. So thank you so much. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Mr. Pearson. And all the cast, all the people, thank you, Greg Day. Thank you, everybody that made it possible, man. And again, you're going to be all right. All right?
Thank you.
All right. Anybody mess with you, come see me. I got your back. All right? All right. All right.
Yeah.
Brother Shay, you got his back?
Yeah, I got it.
See what they do right there? That's a good guy to have your back. All right. All right. Thank y'all so much. And, well, you can go. I know you got work to do. You're in your school, boy. God, you all right. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Well, you know, big people do big things.
All
right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it. We just finished talking to Jordan Pearson. Did you see Greg? Dave? I don't know. Do you know?
Yes.
Okay, he's going to get his 5 tickets.
Okay.
For sure.
Thank you.
My word is bond. I don't want to put no funny business. I'm going to donate. I thought I had the $50, but I'm going to give it to you. And make sure that we just know give it to whoever you want or put it in your pocket. But it's going towards you.
Yeah.
So be blessed, man. All right?
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Give us a love one. All right.
There you go.
All right. All right. Mother bless you. And thank God. Do you have anything you want to say?
No, I just want to thank you for having my son here. Thank you so much for having my son
Yes, ma'am.
here and blessing him with the opportunity to share this with the public. And we hope you come out and make the right choice.
All right. Y'all heard it. Mother has spoken. Yes, ma'am. All right. Again, last time for those listening, November 22nd, bring it out. It's children friendly. All that. Just come out, bring the family for a good cause to 305 East 9 Mile Road. Choices. 4 p.m.